I could die at the age of 95, and with some of my best friends are black, they're going to be at my funeral, just gonna be shaking their head like, man, it's so sad. He was a cool-ass white boy. Like, still? I died at 95. I can't. I'm still a boy? What the heck? I don't know. I went to school with a couple of white people, and, like, I went to school with the type of white people that didn't know they were white. You know what I'm talking about? One guy used to wear FUBU. I had to be like, listen, buddy, that's not for us. Or by us, actually. He was wearing a do-rag, wearing a wave cap. I'm like, our hair doesn't even do that. He's putting Murray's grease in his hair, holding a Diane brush. Like, all right, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what those last two things are. For that joke, I just Googled shit only black people fuck with, and I'm joking, kinda. Oh man, I don't know what's going on anymore, man. I'm glad I do comedy. I think I've hated every job that I've ever had besides this. You know what I mean? Like, I used to work at this really fancy restaurant called Jimmy John's, and so you guys have heard of the place. That's cool. I realized day one I was smarter than my boss. This is the first thing he said to me. He was like, hey buddy, do you want to work our cash register? Sure. Okay. He's like, not so fast there, smarty pants. He said, do you know how to add backwards? I'm sorry, sir, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He's like, all right, let's say somebody hands you a $20 bill, but the total's only $12.50. Can you add back from 20 to $12.50? You mean subtraction? Where the hell are we right now? You're responsible for my paychecks. I don't feel comfortable working here. This isn't gonna work out between us. I don't know, man. Too many things bother me. I went to my grandparents' house the other day. My grandpa, I love my grandpa. I do love him. I love him a lot. But he always has to exaggerate everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I know that 99% of your life was way more difficult than it is today, but let's not pick at every detail. You know what I mean? He'll give me some weird things and say stuff like, hey, when I was your age, gas was so cheap, they gave us $1. Like, shut up, Grandpa. You never made money getting gasoline. That never happened. He'd say some other stuff you probably have heard, though, before. He'd say something like, you know, when I was your age, we were so poor, we had to put water in our cereal. That's disgusting. Fun fact about cereal, you can have it plain. You guys know that? You're never too broke to have to put water in your cereal. Just take a handful and grab them out the fucking box. What's wrong with you? You don't have to make it taste worse just because you're broke. Like, that never makes any sense. Like, I don't know if you were poor. I do know you made poor decisions as well. He was talking some trash. He was like, he was trying to remember some stuff. He's like, you know, you kids, when you were growing up, you had your book bags. When I was growing up, we didn't have book bags. We had to carry our books to school. Great. Maybe somebody like you should have invented a book bag. Why am I supposed to feel bad about this? You know what I mean? Because when I was going to school, our books were heavier and we had more books than you had, Grandpa. That's true, okay? Like, when I was going to school, I used to have like 2 50-pound books per class. What did you have, Grandpa? You had the school book. Just one book called the school book, and half of history didn't happen yet, so it wasn't even that heavy. Your 3-page book with one president. I don't care. Fold it up, put it in your back pocket. What's wrong with you? Making it way more difficult than it needs to be. I gotta be grateful, though. I gotta be grateful. I remember when I was a little kid, I always saw that infomercial on TV with the needy kids on it. You guys remember that? Yeah. Yes. And it always started the same way every single time. It always started out with like some kid in Africa. He had a stick. He's just playing in a mud puddle, right? Yeah, he's playing in a mud puddle, and then a random old dude walks in from the side of the screen just for 10 cents a day. For only 10 cents a day, you can feed and clothe this child. Food and clothes. 10 cents a day. And I'm looking at this like, you know what? I gotta do something. I do. I have to do something. I have to start shopping smarter. 10 cents for food and clothes? Where the hell do you get those type of deals? I shop around people, I don't see that anywhere. Then you hear parents complaining. What are you parents talking about? Send the kids to college. Send the kids to college. Send these kids to Africa. It's only 10 cents to raise them. Over there. Special shout out to everybody that felt uncomfortable because the white boy said Africa too many times for a joke. Even though not a goddamn racist thing was said. Spin a globe, places exist. I'm joking, kinda. Oh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Some things do get uncomfortable. You know, like Daryl was starting the show off, he was talking about people being racist, and there's too many white people that I'm acquaintances with on Facebook to not read it occasionally. It always upsets me because there's always the same old thing white people are repeating for years where they get upset that they can't say the N-word, but black people can. Ever so often, another white person's like, you're white, I can say racist stuff to you. Like, that's what happens. They just think they're a comfortable person they can say stuff to. Ever so often, I get the idea that some white people think they're better than black people because black people use the N-word, but white people don't. And I'm like, all right, you think that? Okay, let's have a conversation, all right? You know what? Let's be honest. Black people do occasionally use the N-word, but you know what they don't do? They don't curse when they're talking to their mother. Yeah. The black women know what I'm talking about. When I do the show in front of white people, they look at me like, what do you mean you can't call your mother a bitch? What if she's acting like a bitch? It seems like the appropriate word to use in that given context. And for anybody that doesn't know the point I'm trying to make, let's look at music. Let's look at music. Tupac. How many N-words did he say? A bunch, right? I don't know the answer. But he also had a song called Dear Mama. And that song was only about how much he loved his mama. Now let's look at another rapper, for example. Let's look at Eminem, for example. He had a song about his mama. No N-words in it. But it was about how he wanted to murder her and bury her underneath the ground. And it was a great song. It was such a good song. But you can never have like an Eminem version of Dear Mama. That would sound ridiculous. Just like, Dear Mama, even though you're a meth fiend, Mama, you'll always be my white queen, Mama. Like that. You want to know why that sounds ridiculous? White queen. That's what you never hear. I'm just giving black people ammo for white people when they're racist to you. I want you to remember this. Because black men will refer to their women as queens. You know what white people say? They're like, oh, she's my better half. Sometimes I'm like, well, you're kind of a piece of shit. You mean she's only slightly better than you? Why would a woman think that's a compliment? To be the better half. You know what I mean? Like that. All right, I'm about to get out of here. I know a lot of comics will say clap if you had kids, but how about this? Clap if you don't have any kids. Yeah, you guys hear that? You hear how much energy they still have? Did you hear that? This is the sound of hopes and dreams. It's I'm joking, seriously. But if you have kids, fantastic. I don't know how you do it. You guys have a hell of a lot of patience. I don't know how you do it. I think it's crazy to have kids. I do. I think it's crazy to have kids. That's why I think it's even crazier whenever I turn on the news and I see someone kidnapped a kid. What? You want to steal a baby? Think of all the cool things in life you could have stolen. You know what I mean? Like, you could have stolen someone's purse or cell phone or car. You're going to steal a responsibility? What is wrong with you? You know why they do that, right? You've seen the movies. Why do they do it? They do it for the ransom money. Yeah, they do it for the ransom money. Yeah, good luck collecting ransom from me. Give me a call, like if you ever want to see your son again, it'll be $100,000. It's only 10 cents a day to raise these kids. I needed a babysitter tonight anyways. So, thank you guys very much, everybody. That's my time. You guys have been great.